Hello, everybody. Hi. This is Rafe. This is Cheyenne. This is male and female, but I'm not jamming that down their throat. They can decide at any time they want to be different. You're now a garbage can. Rafe is identifying as a garbage can tonight. I'm glad you're here. We're just signing books for our book signing. Stu is still in the studio. He's just wrapping up, filming something for his show, so he'll be joining us in a second because he's got all the questions from everybody. If you're just joining us, you can ask questions, I think, on Facebook. I have absolutely no idea how this works. No idea. I just was told you're going to have questions, and I'm signing books for you that you bought, and I can't thank you enough. We are, hang on, I want to show you something that I saw today, and we have to change this, and I need you to help change this. I need you to talk to everybody you know. Let me see. I just got a note that we are number, in all books in the world, that's coloring books and everything else, we're like number 23 or something. And if I don't beat It Isn't Easy Being a Bunny, I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to be very, very upset. I mean, I know everybody's at home with the kids and you're buying books for the kids, but It Isn't Easy Being a Bunny. Yes, it's a good book, but it's not this. It's not this. Look, this looks like a coloring book too. Give it to your kids. Tell them it's a coloring book. What? It's just a very thick coloring book. Don't worry about the words. There's a bunny in it someplace, I'm sure. Actually, I think there is. A Swedish bunny, but that's a different story. So this book is something that we've spent the last, I don't even know. We started writing it last summer. And thank you, Shay. And we've worked really, really hard on it. It is in the style of arguing with idiots. And I mean, yes, socialists and idiots, they're interchangeable. Tomato, tomato, whatever. But it is full of really great charts. This chapter is a little dark. You can tell. Socialism destroys wealth and the planet. This one actually, the really dark chapter is the last one, and it really, the second to the last one. It's this one. No. It's the one that talks about, it's not the last one. It's the one that talks about what's coming and the monetary system that socialists just love. And it's the modern monetary theory, except I wrote it about how that coupled with technology is going to turn us into China. Unfortunately, with COVID, they've coupled that with technology. So, hello. We are becoming China if we don't fix this quickly. Where is Stu? Somebody at the studio.
Make sure that you didn't walk him in there.
By the way, if you haven't purchased your book, you can go right now to Premier Collectibles, premiercollectibles.com/Beck. I think you can also get there just by going to glenbeckbooksigning.com. And buy your book. And when you buy your book, you can ask a question, and we will. I remember when we used to do this, in the same room. Oh, you remember people?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
people.
great.
They were so great, weren't they?
Right?
Yeah. Someday, maybe we can go outside and see people again.
Will the day ever come?
I don't know. What are you doing? Garbage cans don't talk. All right. So you can go and get your book signed. You can ask a question, and as soon as Stu shows up, I mean, this is incompetence. This is incompetence. This is an outrage. Rob, talk to me about where is Stu? He's like, oh, I got to finish my show. Whatever. He's got a show he's got to do right now. Is there anybody at the Mercury Studios that can ask the questions? Because I'm just not a trained monkey. I just can't just sit here and talk. You know what I mean?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Could have Cheyenne sing. Could have Rafe tell jokes.
Oh, no.
The singing wouldn't be bad. The jokes
Will be.
will be bad. Will be bad.
I wouldn't count on my singing, though, Dad.
Yeah. No?
My voice just felt a little clogged today. It's too much
So
snoring.
you can get a signed copy now. Just go to the bottom of the screen and just buy your book now. I'm telling you, if I am beaten by, it's not easy being a bunny. Yeah, I will. I have nowhere else to go. I have to take it out on you guys. I have to.
Wait, honestly?
See this? Not you, Cheyenne. See this?
yeah.
See this kid? Dead by the end of the week. We don't beat. It's not easy being a bunny. Dead. I killed this boy. You don't want that. Look at him. He's grown up to be a good kid. Everything else got a bright future. You don't make this happen. I can't. I'm not responsible. You did it, not me. I told you in advance he'd have to die. Right? COVID. He's going to get COVID.
Wait.
You have a question? All right, go ahead. What's the question?
Okay, with the pandemic, how do you think this book will come into play with how our government is reacting?
With the pandemic, how is this book going to come in with how our government is reacting? Well, that's up to you. This has everything in it. Modern monetary theory is the craziest thing. I didn't think it was serious when we first started looking into it. I didn't think it was serious. This is the theory. As long as we say that we have enough money to back all this spending up, then we have enough money. Wait, so you don't have to have gold? You don't have to have anything in reserve? No, you just have to say you have enough. So, for instance, if things got really horrible, then you would just have to tax everybody or take everybody's land or whatever so we could, cover that. Okay, that's not going to work out. It is what everyone has said right before they destroy their country, right before the Germans were marching in the streets saying, Jawohl, that's the idea that they had. It's not modern. It's not a theory. It's been done. It's been proven to be a destructive force. It always ends in inflation. But this time, they're going to stop inflation by price controls and taxes. So you don't have to worry about that. It is a complete control. But if you know what's happening, you'll be able to stop it. If you know what it is, most people don't have any idea what modern monetary theory is. They have no idea why it's such a bad idea for the government right now to be in bed with Google and having them develop an algorithm where they can listen to people coughing in their house. And if they hear a wet cough, they'll alert the government so they'll know you have COVID. Excuse me, what is the difference between this and China? Not a lot, but it'll be up to you. And it'll be up to you not being afraid of what we're facing. Fear is always the way this comes in. Next question.
Cheryl from Lone Tree, Colorado.
Cheryl for Lone Tree, Colorado. I love Lone Tree, Colorado. Never been there.
How is it that we've had the best economy we've seen in decades over the last 4 years, and yet within a few days of the outbreak, every major company is looking to the government for bailout? Airlines, travel industry, hotels, cruise lines, jam-packed for the last 4 years.
Okay.
Where did all that profit go?
Okay, so Cheryl is asking, how can we have the best economy for the last 4 years? Everybody's, having a great time, especially the big businesses. Where did all of that profit go? Well, we can talk about profit with the big guys. The big guys, what they did is they took all of that money and they bought their own stock back. They did stock buybacks. And so they didn't save them. They put them in the stocks and in their own company and bought all that stock back. And a lot of that money was our money. But other than that, when you look at the regular person, I mean, I don't think the regular person has had a good year in a very, very long time. And so, I think a lot of us blew some of the money because it was a good year and a good couple of years. And companies finally had enough money to expand and do some of the things they wanted to do. I mean, I just started remodeling our whole studio 6 months ago. We started in summertime, and that, in retrospect, doesn't seem like a really good idea. I think I hear Stu with a wet cough in the background.
Hi, Glenn. How are you?
Hi, Stu. How are you?
Good. Just made it over from our little taping of Stu Does America. Just finished up a few moments ago. Sorry for the late join. I guess you've been getting some questions from the audience.
I guess so. Either that or somebody's just making them up. I'm not really sure.
So I have a screen here from people whose books you are signing right now that would like to ask you questions. The problem I have is I just joined, and I don't know if these have already been asked or not.
Well, there's only been 2 asked.
Okay, good. All right. Let's see. Here we go. I'm just going to go through them, and you give us answers.
All right.
I just want to say thank you for being a part of changing my life. This comes from Brian in Collinsville, Oklahoma. He says, I'm a veteran recovering from addictions, and you've been an integral part of my recovery. Please keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Stay safe, and God bless you and your team.
Thank you. I was actually thinking about doing an AA meeting. Not me conducting it, but somebody else conducting it and joining one. I think it'd be kind of cool to do, because I talked to a friend of mine today who's an alcoholic, and he's like, yeah, these online AA meetings, they're not as good, They're just not as good. And I'm like, I know. I'm drinking.
Yeah, you just go for it. You're back in.
Yeah.
You're fully
I'm
gone.
just drinking, not rubbing alcohol. That's okay, isn't it?
Oh, I think so. As long as it's not from
Yeah, Kitty Dukakis used hairspray. Why can't I use rubbing alcohol?
I will say, I'll have a drink here and there. I'm not never had an AA sort of issue in my life, but I could see developing one. I'm trying. I'm doing my best here in the middle of this.
Now is the time to drink. Yeah. If you don't drink, but you've saved it all up. Mm-hmm. Now is the time to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Now.
We should. No. I don't know what's in that bottle, but we'll move on. Samuel from Salem, Oregon says, can you start featuring your dog in those dog vitamin commercials that you do? You do have one of those. I think I've seen Uno on one of those commercials.
Hey, Uno. Uno. Hair. Uno. Might be outside.
All right, we'll bring Uno here.
He's been sitting at my door all day. He's such a good dog. I've been broadcasting all day. And he's been sitting at my door, and now when you ask about him, he's
gone.
There.
Of course. Typical Uno, unreliable. Renee in Holt, Michigan writes, what was the most difficult part of this book to write and why?
The part with words in it.
Oh, yeah. It's a big part of it, too.
That was a really hard part. The pictures were easy. The hardest part, and we didn't get it right, the hardest part was trying to write it in such a way that it wouldn't piss off somebody who is a socialist, that they would actually read it.
Yeah, you did
We
try
didn't
to do
even
that
get
from
close,
the beginning. Yeah, it's a tough balance, right? Because you
because then it's not funny.
Yeah. You want it to be enjoyable for the people who are actually buying it, not just socialists. All right, Uno coming into the screen here.
Come on. Yes, hello. Hello. Hi.
Murderous dog right there.
There he is.
There he is.
There's Uno.
All right. Claudia in Georgia writes, do you feel optimistic that we are going to get ourselves out of this mess that we've created or that has been created for us? And if so, how long do you think it'll take to do it?
I'm sorry, I lost the connection there.
Are you so negative you won't even answer the question? Is that
No, it depends on, I've been really heartened today and yesterday by the news coming out of New York that things are looking better around the world. And if we can get the economy going again, if we can get back to work in the next few weeks, I think if we can get back to work in 3 weeks, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
But we know that's not happening, right? I mean, that's not a realistic possibility. We're going back to work.
I think it is. I think it is.
Really? That's interesting. I mean, I kind of don't. That's not to say that some parts might open up. We may be able to kind of have some parts of the country that aren't dealing with these things in a major way might be able to open up. But you really think like we're...
What's the company? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I was going to say,
what's the company that just...
do you really think that we're going to... I'm just pushing through. You think you're really going to be able to... When you say go back to work, what I picture is life kind of going back to normal. I mean, that's not 3 weeks away from now.
No, but I think that parts of the country could actually go back to work in the next few weeks. Could go back to work, and I think as soon as we get this thing done, where we're able to do tests of people to see if they have the antibodies or anything else, then I think we can go to work. The real big problem is, you guys want to take a break?
We've been working so hard.
I know. Well, I want to.
Sitting here in my pajama bottoms.
No, I know. You've been working hard all day. Get out of here, both of you. Beat it. Thanks, guys. Thanks. What are you taking my keyboard for?
Oh, you want this?
Yes, I want that. Give me my keyboard. Wow, what a thief. I think the thing is that if we can just find some way to check us all, which I don't think we're far away. We may be far away from a vaccine, but checking us may not be so far away. The real trick here is going out and not having it come back, whether that's right away or that is next fall. I think if this comes back next fall, people are going to go crazy. They're going to go crazy because they're not thinking about it. Nobody's preparing on, hey, by the way, this could come back next fall.
Yeah, no. The second wave could be, because there's some idea that it's seasonal and some idea that it may go kind of down south for the winter and come back up. And it could be a really ugly sort of situation because we are not going to want to go back into this after it's over. We're talking, by the way, Glenn Beck, of course, live signing going on right now. This means that Glenn's signing your book if you purchase one at premiercollectibles.com/Beck. He'll sign it for you and answer questions as well. This is a really interesting one, and it's one I think about often. What are this is from Elizabeth in Texas. What are the top 3 to 5 things you think will be drastically different in our society once the pandemic risk has passed?
Small business, technology, and fear of one another. I think those 3 things are going to change us. I think if people are ratting on each other, that's not good. If we are... I think it's going to take a while to get used to being around people again.
Yeah.
And not being afraid that somebody has something. That one's going to last with us for a while, especially if this lasts a while. It's going to be tough. But I don't think technology is going back. I don't think our monetary system is coming back. I really don't. I have nothing to base this on other than, 30 years of looking into it. But I think there is a massive change underway that usually only happens because of war and may happen yet because of war. I mean, what's happening in China right now is terrifying, just terrifying. They just don't care. They don't care.
Very true. Glenn, do you think we go back to a handshaking culture after this? Or does
Eventually.
Eventually, it does come back?
Yeah. I think, I think people like to shake hands. I mean, I've seen people now, just outside of the house and, in the street and stuff, and we'll walk up to each other, and invariably somebody will walk up and start to put their hand out and go, "Oh, geez, nope, sorry." And it's weird. It's you want to. It's I don't know. It's a sign of affection.
I walked into I was on Steven Crowder's show a couple weeks ago. Walked right into the office. First thing, I don't know all those guys that well. Kind of meeting some of them for the first time, and you're just right out shaking hands with somebody 10 seconds through the door. It's just what happens. I mean, it's all natural.
Yeah.
See if it comes back. Joel in Arizona says, "How in the world do we teach foundational principles when the government owns the education system, corporations own the politicians, and we're all working so hard just to keep up financially?"
You're breaking up. I missed that last. How are we when government controls education and what else?
And we're all just working so hard. We can't focus on micromanaging it. It's difficult for us to do. We're working hard to keep up financially. How do we stop them from avoiding the teaching of fundamental principles? You're full of answers
personally
here.
think, yeah, I know. I wrote them all out in a book. Buy the book and read the book. I think that the key here is to not pay for them to be indoctrinated in college. That's the first thing we have to do. We've got to stop with this craziness in college. It has to end. I don't know why there isn't a big movement to stop funding these colleges. They are taking our children, and it's a lamb to slaughter. They leave our house. We've worked so hard to shape them, and they take everything and they just destroy it. And we pay for it twice with our taxes and then with tuition. It's insanity. The other is, that's one of the reasons why we wrote this book is we wrote it the way we did because I didn't want to write a book on socialism that no one would read. I mean, I've got lots of books on socialism, and I hate reading them. I wanted something that was easy to read, easy to be kind of something for people with ADD. Somebody who doesn't like to sit down and read a bunch of stats. I know Stu loves to read nonfiction. I'm a fiction guy. I love fiction. And it takes a really good book or something that I'm really interested in and really want to learn for me to be able to read it, let alone write it. So we wrote this one so it could attract everybody, and also that we could give it to our kids and they could use it to write reports and write things in school and be able to stand on the facts. That's why at the end of it, it has about 100 pages of footnotes, and they're really teeny footnotes because they didn't want me to go over 400 pages. So we had to shrink these footnotes way down. But if you use a microscope, you can see them. But it's just page after page of just footnotes of every fact in here. And every time we found something from the Heritage Foundation or something like that, I would say to the crew, go back, see if you can find something that's not from our side. Go back and see if you can find this information from the left. So you're not just looking at conservative stats. You're looking at stats that somebody you're trying to convince will accept.
All right, how about this one from John in Hamilton, New Jersey? He writes, since you completed the book for print, is there anything that you wished had been included in the book but wasn't?
Yeah, COVID-19.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, that would have been a great one. If we would have put, what's crazy about this is it was supposed to be on, it takes months to put these things together. And so we had all these shows lined up to be on for this book. And everybody is saying, well, no, we're talking about COVID-19. And I'm like, yeah, I know. This, when the president says the cure can't be worse than the disease, that's what this book is all about. This is about the so-called cure that's going to kill all of us. And I just wish we could have made that more clear. Other than that, I wish we had more time, because I would have liked to make it even funnier and put more graphics in. But we were down to the wire. We've all worked through Christmas.
Yeah, I will say, knowing that you finished this book, months ago, if you had put COVID-19 in there, I would have been really troubled by that. That would not have been. That there would have been some more questions.
Would have been good though, right?
I mean,
there is that quote. Where did you find that quote today?
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Page 362, I believe it is.
Yeah, thank you. 362, here it is. Infectious disease is the one thing that can compete with the death count of socialism. But give the socialists a little time. The race isn't over yet. In this, it talks about how the Spanish flu killed so many people, and all the infectious disease. That's the only thing that comes close to the death count of socialism. So you talk about COVID-19 being so dangerous and the number it's killing. It's killing nothing compared to a country that flips to socialism. If America would flip to socialism, we will dwarf the numbers of COVID-19. Dwarf them.
The related question here from Joseph in Bradenton, Florida. He says the push for socialist programs and ideas have been really aggressive over the past few years. How do you think the socialist backers will use the recent COVID-19 destruction of our economy to gather even more support?
That's one of my biggest worries, is that, and why we have to be rock solid on the issues. We have to know what each of these things are doing. I mean, most people, when they see the $6 trillion, 2 from the United States government, the Congress, and 4 from the Fed, how are they printing this money? How are they doing? Modern monetary theory. That's what they're operating on. Most people will have no idea what that is. You have to be able to argue this point. You have to be able to call Congress and saying, stop it. Right now, stop it. We're not operating under modern monetary theory. You have to stop it dead in its tracks. And what was the question again, Stu? It was
how are they going to use this? How are socialists going to use this particular event?
They're going to use this in every way they can. The easiest way. I mean, think about how far they have come on socialism with the greatest economy the United States has ever had. How is that possible? Are you kidding me? It's the greatest, it's the lowest unemployment rate in 70 years. How did they make all of this ground? Well, because we're not doing our job on educating ourselves and our children. Now you couple a really bad economic situation on top of it, they will take it like that. Because most people, there was a poll out today that said 68% of Americans are going hardcore on, they don't want people traveling into their state. They want all of these draconian laws. These are not constitutional. They are just not constitutional. And no one's talking about sunsets or anything. When people are afraid, they'll round up the Japanese. When people are afraid of hunger or being left out in the cold, they will embrace anyone who will say, here's a free blanket. And the left and the media knows it. They know it. And it is a race against time to be able to get this economy going back up before the socialists do all of the damage. And I'm really, the one thing, to go back to a question that I wish I would have put in there, I wish I would have put a chapter on violence of the left, because it always comes down to violence in the streets. And I think this summer could be really bad, really, really bad. once we get past everybody's afraid to be outside, and people are back out, you're going to see the Occupy Wall Street people. You're going to see all of these really well-funded groups and well-organized groups. I can guarantee you they're already planning it. And we could see a very dicey summer.
Glenn, when your book went to print, this particular section needed an event, I think, to put it over the top. And we were talking about it in a speculative way, but this is amazing, page 234, how technology and modern monetary theory makes socialism more dangerous than ever. You talk about a way to make this happen where you have technology, all the monitoring, all the tracking has been told to, it's been promoted as the ultimate solution that many Asian companies have been able to accomplish with COVID-19. A modern monetary theory is something we're just jumping right into without even a debate because we're printing so many trillions of dollars. This section in particular, I think, really hits home in the COVID-19 era.
Oh, this is the best chapter, I think, in the book for COVID-19 and what's going on, because this talks about what's coming in the next 10 years. And this talks about people being unemployed because of technology. But forget about technology. We have COVID-19. So we have another reason why 30% of the country is unemployed. And if that number stays like that for very long, we're in real trouble, because technology will become the prison that holds us all in place. Look how fast Donald Trump and everybody else ran to Google, and how fast Google ran to Donald Trump to help on COVID. And what are they doing? They're developing technology where they're monitoring all of us. Right now, Microsoft is working on something where alarms go off if you walk into a building and you have a fever, if you walk into a building and you don't have a mask on. All of this stuff is being developed at an enormous high speed and will be implemented, and there's no questioning of it at this point. So you're building the cage, you're building the information center, you've partnered with government, and then you have an economic crisis. That is, for technology and the modern monetary theory, that is this chapter. What is it? Chapter
6?
Chapter 6. Yeah. Building the 21st century socialist nightmare. This chapter is worth the price of the book, because this is happening right now.
You can get the book, by the way, at glennbeckbooksigning.com. Signed copies available now. Glenn has been signing them as we've done this live event here. Deborah Lynn from Tennessee.
Look at this. Wait. Look at this. Let me just show this. Look at this. This is that chapter, and if you look at it, it says no unemployment. No unemployment. They're making Chinese flags. No crime, because everybody is watching. Health care for all, but not good health care. And free birth control, which is China killing babies.
It's a little edgy.
This is the kind. It's a little edgy. Yeah, it's a little dark. It's a little dark, sure. Yeah. But that is the solution to all of these things.
There's some really fun AOC and Ilhan Omar cartoons I think you'll appreciate throughout the book as well. Deborah Lynn in Tennessee writes in with a question I think so many people have right now, which is, got any advice for a sole proprietor small business whose business is nearly shut down due to needing self-quarantine with a high-risk family member?
Wait, you've closed down the business because you have a high-risk family member
in the home, so you can't go do business. Of course, obviously, businesses are closed for various reasons, but I think the small business owner right now is going through hell.
So how much do you like that family member? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if that's the answer exactly.
I don't know. I mean, can the people who are working in the store, I mean, I'm thinking of this as my family. We had a small business, and if we would have been keeping it open, what we would have done is the family just would have worked there. Now, if I would have had my grandpa or grandma living with us, I think we would have tried to get one family member to stay home or take an apartment or something with that family member until we got past this stage and just lived separately. But I mean, if you can keep the doors open, you got to keep the doors open. You got to keep the doors open.
These are impossible
If you can.
situations for people.
Impossible. Impossible.
Here's another impossible situation. This one for you, though. An impossible decision.
Okay.
Comes from Elena in Irwin, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, would you rather hang out in a room with 30 conservative cat people, house cats, not big cats, or 30 commies? It's a tough one.
Are they famous communists that have killed people?
Unfortunately, not clarified. Just it would be a grab bag of
and
communism.
is it only an hour?
Yeah, it just says how you're gonna hang out.
I think I need a time limit. I need a time limit.
All right, we'll give you an hour. An hour. How would you?
Yeah, an hour. Commies. Commies. I'd rather hang out with the commies.
Well, at least you wouldn't have allergies with the commies. I guess if you're going like a week or something, then yeah,
sure. I don't understand cat people. I don't. Do we have to talk about cats? Because if we don't have to talk about cats, that's another. You know, I didn't like the movie Cats. I didn't like the Broadway show Cats. I don't like the actual four-legged cats. I don't like them. I don't like them, and I don't understand people who do.
Well, maybe someone will use their question for a follow-up on that to give you the exact parameters.
Yeah, okay.
D from Winter Haven, Florida writes, do you think after COVID-19 dies down that the world will place massive sanctions on China, which will possibly lead to World War III? No?
No.
They get away with
World
it?
War
Nothing?
III, maybe, but I don't think there's massive. No, they're too powerful. They are way too powerful. Look at what they're doing to France right now. France sent over, I don't know how many million masks while they were going through this. Sent them gowns and everything else for all their doctors. Just free. Just take them. They just sent the same masks and the same gowns that they didn't use in China. They just sent them back to France, but charged them and said, we can make more for you, but you have to say yes to our 5G network. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I mean, this is the balls on these people are just amazing, and they're going to get away with it. They're going to get away with it.
Let me give you another one about China here. It comes from
China.
John in Lake Grove, New York writes, hey, Glenn, congrats on the new book. Do you think China makes an aggressive move regarding the world reserve currency this year?
Yes.
I mean, they have
Do you need more?
No, but they're in the air. They can do what, this is going to be, I do think we're going to do something. I don't think Trump is going to sit back after this is over and say, hey, you know what, it's A-OK that you guys let something leak out of a lab potentially and have infected the whole world and cost us, trillions of dollars potentially. And God knows how many lives. I can't imagine he's going to stand by and just deal with that, but it's not an easy position.
And what are you going to do? He won't, but how many countries will join us on that? Very few. Very, very few would say, I want to wrestle with China. Not gonna happen. But I could see us going on a war footing. I mean, China is, their goal was China 2025 to rule the world by 2025. They're close, and they see a weakened West. I wouldn't count anything out.
Janet from Indiana writes, can you explain how we use biblical principles to help us talk about socialism?
Tower of Babel. Tower of Babel is the first story of socialism. Let's make bricks, and Nebuchadnezzar was not talking about let's make actual bricks. Bricks are slaves. Bricks are just an analogy, if you will, for slaves. Every time you talk about slaves in the Bible, they're making bricks. That's because slaves are bricks. They're all exactly the same. They're disposable. Make one. If it breaks, don't worry about it. Get another one. And so Nebuchadnezzar said, let's make bricks and we'll build a tower to the sky. God didn't want that. God didn't want that. And so that's the first part of it. The other is, I mean, show me Show me where Jesus is extolling a big government. He's never extolling a big government. He's never saying, hey, give your coat over to King Herod over there, and Herod, he's going to give it to another guy that he finds. You're supposed to do it. You are. And I think it is, I'm of a faith that believes in a premortal existence and a plan of salvation where we all decided to come here to gain a body and to learn how to wield God's power in the flesh. And so anything that takes away our right to fail, our right to stand up for ourselves on our own 2 feet, anything that takes away my right to be wrong is, in my opinion, evil. We have to have the opportunity to fail, and then we also need the opportunity to do it because we believe it. Somebody coming and taking my money for charity does not make me more charitable. A change of heart makes me more charitable. And only when there's a change of heart. That's why socialism doesn't work, because it doesn't change hearts. It makes you more angry and more protective of what is yours.
Notice, too, Jesus had some pretty negative interactions with the government he had to deal with over the years. They were,
He did.
Wasn't always positive.
I don't remember how that ended, but it didn't end well with the government.
Yeah, well, ended well for all of us, but not so well with the government. Let me ask you this. This is an important question that comes in from John in Colorado Springs, Colorado. He says, where's the hole in the sky where the tree once was?
It's still there. Still there. It's huge. It's huge.
Is somebody
It's a
making
huge
money, though?
hole.
I guess is the question.
Oh, of course. Somebody's always making money. Of course. I've been
course.
making money just talking about the hole in the sky where the tree once
I don't
was.
think that song will ever get out of my head. Holiday in North Carolina writes, how has your faith in God kept you going in hard times?
It is the only thing that keeps me going in hard times. And when I am not in line, I really, really struggle. I was lucky enough to bottom out early and not die. And so I lost everything, and I realized at that time when I got back up on my feet that it didn't mean anything. So I don't really care about any of that stuff. And when I do start to care about it, I know that I'm not in line with God. And if it wasn't for my faith, I would probably be dead. I wouldn't be here. And I would be so lost. And I think that's the problem that we have as a society, is that there's no meaning in life, because the meaning comes from the government doing things for other people. It comes from, social justice, which that's not justice. You'll notice, that the social justice warriors, they won't allow the same kind of justice to be applied to them, because they're just. I mean, that's the only kind of real justice there is God's, and man can imitate it to the best of his ability, but never really get close. And that is to have equal justice under the law. And because we don't have equal justice, because we don't have God as our center, and we've made government our God, or fame, even worse, our God, we're struggling with all of the suicides and everything else that's happening in our world today.
Diane in Hope Mills, North Carolina, has a great question, tailor-made, I would say, for this event. We're doing a live signing, of course, with Glenn Beck. The book is Arguing with Socialists. You can get it right now at premiercollectibles.com/Beck. Or if you're here, you can you'll see the whole thing at glennbeckbooksigning.com as well. Diane writes, how do I approach my college-age nephew, who is now a Bernie Sanders supporter, without causing family conflict? He lives in Maine, and I am in North Carolina and support Trump.
Oof.
I mean, I hate to make a recommendation here on your answer here, but I mean, this is kind of. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. But I think you won't make any progress until you listen to him. You just got to get to know him, love him, and listen to him. And once he's really felt like he's really been heard, then you will have the relationship. You'll be able to start talking to each other and have a real conversation. It's not an easy thing. You have to spend a lot of time biting your tongue and looking for the right opportunity. Not any opportunity, the right opportunity. And that's the one thing that I regret that we didn't get right in this was this is going to have all of the answers, and it will have all of his questions and answers in it. We did a really good job of preparing you. There's no paper tigers in this. These are all the real arguments from socialists that they make. So you'll be prepared for him and know what he says. But it's hard to give this to somebody who's a diehard socialist because of my name and because it is very, very snarky on people like Bernie Sanders, which will be hard for them to swallow. You, on the other hand, will enjoy it. But the arguments in here, you need to start with this, read this, while you're just listening to him. Don't offer anything until you've fully heard him out.
Yeah, and I think that's the idea is like you get to actually enjoy it if you're a conservative, and you can internalize those arguments and make them with the detail and facts that you need to back them up when you go through all the material in the book. Next question is from Chris in Austin, Texas, who asks, what is the most embarrassing thing you've ever worn?
I believe at one point in my career, I did have to dress as Diana Ross.
Oh, please don't tell me we've got Governor Northam photos coming out at any time soon.
There was no makeup involved.
Good for
Lipstick,
you.
but no other makeup involved. And that was back in the 80s when it was totally cool to do that.
Somehow
No
Glenn
makeup
Beck has
involved.
better judgment than Justin Trudeau, apparently.
That's right. That's
thankfully.
right. That's right. That's right.
Who has been this is Amanda in Sacramento. Who's been your favorite guest to interview?
I don't know. That's really hard. I like the ones that surprise me. I like the ones who say, I don't know. Let me think. I really enjoyed, who were the three scientists, Stu, that did the...
Yes, I'm
those
not going to be able to
guys.
remember all their names off the top of my head, but they did the studies, the fake studies.
Yes,
that
yes.
they placed
So
in
I had
peer-reviewed
two of them
journals.
on. Yeah, I had two of them on, and I loved it because I didn't know where they were going to go. They didn't know where I was going to go. And halfway through, one of them said to me, I am trying really hard to find places where I disagree with you. And everybody had told us, oh, we'll hate each other. And we really enjoyed each other. I like having real conversations with people. He asked me, so let me ask you a question. Would you, if I could prove it, and I know I can't, but if I could prove to you without a shadow of a doubt that there is no God, would you accept that? And I said, well, I don't think you could do that. I know you can't. But if you could, without a shadow of a doubt, I would be forced to look at the facts and forced to go with the facts. But you couldn't do that. And I said, and I think it's impossible for me to prove that there is a God. But if I could prove to you that there was a God, would you say, I guess I'm religious, I guess I'm a spiritual person? He said, yes. Those people I really like to have conversations with, because then you're not just trying to win. You're not trying to make points. You're not trying to one up the other. You're just trying to really find answers.
And let's do one more. We're running out of time here. Rachel from Colorado Springs writes, do you agree that the last few weeks have felt much like a socialist society?
Oh my gosh, yes. If you like all of this, you will love socialism. You like the government telling what to do. You can't do anything until they speak. Oh my gosh, you're going to love this new thing called socialism. You're going to love it. There was somebody challenged to 22 questions or something like that in 2 minutes?
22 questions in 2 minutes. Are you ready for them? Can you do this?
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
I think so, yes.
22 questions in 2 minutes.
In how many minutes? In 2 minutes.
Okay,
Is
hold on.
somebody timing?
We got to wait for it to go around. Hold on one
Somebody
second.
timing.
We have 57 more seconds. Hold on.
57 more seconds.
Sorry. Okay, ready? Here we go. 22 questions. Number one, where were you born?
Yeah. Earth.
Who would you want to play you in a movie?
Tom Cruise.
What was your first?
Come on,
What
man.
was your first job?
You got to go. Scraping floors for my dad in the bakery.
What is your biggest fear?
The movie is made about me, and it stars Val Kilmer.
Who makes you laugh the most?
My son.
What is the one thing you need to have in your fridge at all times?
Ice cream.
What is your greatest accomplishment?
How much ice cream I can eat.
Who is the most interesting person you've met recently? No one,
anyone outside. Anyone outside of my house and my family.
What is your middle name?
Edward Lee.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve? Stupid questions.
What is the last book you read?
The last book that I read, I can't remember. I don't know. I don't know.
You're running out of time. You're running out of time.
Go quick,
sir.
quick,
You're
because
running out of
James
time.
Rowland's new book.
Okay.
It's really good. Go.
What is your favorite hobby?
Painting.
What is your guilty pleasure?
Ice cream.
Do you? A lot of these have been ice cream. What do you? Do you have any hidden talents?
Not a one.
Well, right behind you is one actually. People don't realize that you're a painter and you have a great painting behind you. Show that in a little bit. What color is your toothbrush?
White.
What is your?
Because I'm a racist.
What is your secret snack?
Secret snack. Anything that my wife doesn't catch me eating.
How do you take your coffee? Well, you don't drink coffee. Do you remember how you took your coffee back in the day?
Yeah. 2 sugars and cream.
What is the last movie you saw in theaters?
Theaters, what are those?
Yeah. Apparently nothing.
Don't remember.
What is your last gift you gave?
My best regards. Gave them to my son just today.
What cause is dear to your heart?
Suicide prevention.
And what is number 1 on your bucket list?
Meet Clint Eastwood while he's still alive.
Yeah, you said that for a while. Where do you want to go that you've never been?
Either Red Square, the pyramids, or the Great Wall of China. Don't think I'm going to any of those for multiple reasons.
You might be at the point where the safest part of that is Egypt, which is not that's not normal.
Yeah.
So Glenn, of course, people can get the book signed at premiercollectibles.com/Beck or at beckbooksigning.com. What do you want to leave people with here today?
I don't lose weight fast. Try socialism. I mean, that's. I want to leave you with hope. I know who Americans are, and if we remember who we are, we're going to be fine. We are those people. We're those. We're those. I don't know if you can see this. Is it way too high?
It's a little bit out of this screen here. You can go back there. I mean, if you want, I can. Oh, get somebody.
Can you just bring it over to me, please? Be careful because it's really wet. Very, very wet.
Oh, this is about to be a disaster. I hope you're watching. Let's see.
This. I'm regretting this already.
Yeah.
It's stuck. No, it's not.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna flush. You're gonna have paint all. Oh no, it's going down.
Yeah, it might. Okay. You know what? Reel it down. Just twirl it down so it goes down a little bit. This I call COVID Gothic. You can't read underneath, but COVID Gothic. And I've been spending a lot of time with this painting. In fact, it's driving me crazy now because I have to I'm doing all the fine things.
Oh,
like
you're doing
the
all the
curtains and
tweaking
stuff. And oh my gosh, it's driving me out of my mind. But anyway, keep going. These are real people. and it's a father and daughter. And if you look at them in the painting, you can see it on my screen next to it. If you look at them in the painting, you can see that they are just hardworking, God-fearing people. And this is who we really are. At our heart, this is who we are. We may live in cities or whatever, but we are still out. You got to put a mask on you. That's fine. We'll still be out working, and we're working hard, and it will happen. It will happen. What, honey?
I popped it out if you want.
Oh, yeah. Pop it out. Yeah, I don't know if you can.
Glenn bringing the painting over here. Let's see.
So I'm actually painting this for COVID Gothic. I'm actually painting this for, I want to find something really good for suicide prevention. And auction it off for suicide prevention. But, I mean, it's probably not a good thing. Wait, it's on this side. For suicide prevention. If you look at her little brooch there,
Yeah.
it's a cameo, and it's a skull and crossbones. But,
That's great. That's a great message to send.
Yeah. So, thank you, honey.
All right. Well, the book is out today. You have, of course, the place to get a signed copy. As far as I know, the only place to get a signed copy, premiercollectibles.com/Beck, or you can go to beckbooksigning.com. As far as I understand, I have a lot of your books in my library, Glenn, and I don't think your signature has lowered the value on any of them, which honestly surprised me.
I would check on that. No guarantee. Past performance does not guarantee future results. So but get a copy for somebody that you love. You should get a couple of copies, honestly. One for you and your library, because you will use this as a reference for a long, long time. And make sure you give it to your kids too. Because they will use this in school and their reports, and they can use it in college, and they can use it in high school, and even younger than that. It's a great, great book full of a whole bunch of facts.
And there's a lot of times that we say to ourselves, I just don't have time to read that book. We don't have that excuse right now. We have plenty of time. It's the only thing we seem to have right now. The book is Arguing the Socialists by Glenn Beck. Get it signed at premiercollectibles.com/Beck or beckbooksigning.com. Glenn, thank you very much for doing this. Anything? Any last words for the audience?
Nope. We'll see you tomorrow on the radio. We've got a great radio show for you. And then tomorrow night at 9 p.m., Arguing with Chinese Socialists. We'll show you what they were doing in China and how we're doing it right now in America. And we have to be vigilant on it. Thank you so much for taking your hard-earned money, and I promise you this book is worth it. But we know the value of a hard-earned dollar, especially now. Thank you for spending time with us, and thank you for your support through all the years, and tonight with this new book. God bless.
Good night, comrade.